This is Madman Dan, Operation Champ, July 1936, Japan. We are starting a new YouTube war, and if you have been keeping up, Operation Champ stands for Categoric Cow as Germany, a board gaming bro as the USSR CCP, Madman Dan myself as Japan, Hambone HQ as the Commonwealth and France, and Panzer J as the USA. But I think he might have to change his name to Sherman J now. Uh, and of course, I'd like to thank Dieter Dax for helping me and helping a lot of the online community by putting together this version of the game and keeping it up to date with all the expansions we'll be playing. Before I get into my turn, um, I think I'm going to talk about the expansions we're playing and our optional rules. So, we are playing with all these optional things, but instead of going all over all of them, which should take some time, I only want to point out the Himalayan air hump and the rail gauge. Now, I think um, the Himalayan air hump makes sense. The Himalayas were, I've been told, kind of tall, and it makes sense for planes flying over them to maybe crash in a 10 to 12. However, there's another stipulation there that says if you lend lease planes via the Burma Road, they also will crash on a 11 to 12. And I think we've chosen not to play with that because that pretty much says, well, if the KMT's in Yunnan, well, no one's ever going to send them a plane on a 1 in 6 chance it's going to crash. So it's just kind of not fun. So I think we're not playing with that. I think there was a bit of discussion back and forth with rail gauge, and I'm not too sure which way we're leading to right now, but I think we don't have to worry about it for some time, so I think we're tabling that discussion. All right, expansions. We are playing with colonial troops, Latin America at war, and Canada at war. So regarding Latin America at war, as some of you may have seen in Operation Skyhook, I think they were playing with a few modifications, and I think we're going to try and copy some of those from what we know of them. First, if Brazil and Argentina go to war, we're going to treat it sort of like a mini Spanish Civil War where the US and Germany can lend lease to their respective side. This means that USA wouldn't have to be at 15 IPP to do that, because I think we all can agree that they would care if the Germans are expanding their influence in South America. And I've just placed this little pawn here to indicate that this is the one option that I think if we roll once and get, we're not going to roll it again. Whereas all the others, they can all happen twice. Okay, what next are we talking about? Canada at war. As part of the Discord, the Board Gaming Bros community Discord for Global War 36, which I shall try to remember to put a link in the description, Fortress Jinx, the developer of Canada at War, has made some unofficial, I guess, recommendations or changes and clarifications for it, and I think we're playing with that. So, two clarifications: the Canada's wartime bonus. The West Atlantic and East Atlantic convoy lines are free of enemy warships. This should include enemy submarines, which makes sense. And I believe the Wolf Pack, another special rule for the Germans. Yes, so it gives a bonus to adjacent, or I guess, German submarines on that line. And to grant that bonus, the submarine does not actually have to be rating. And some, I guess, some fixes as well. So corvettes, I believe, cost 5 IPP, but they're not taken last in combat. So that makes them A, good at escorting, and B, pretty good at chump blocking any hits. When purchasing Lend-Lease, Canada gets a discount of 1 IPP if the West Atlantic line is free of enemy warships and submarines. The German discount is only applicable once at war with a major power, which makes sense. And the German discount for 2 submarines is only applicable in the German submarines are built in German homeland, so basically off Germany. And somewhat tangentially, I recently discovered that Aerodrome of Democracy lets you build two planes per turn on the cheap, but only allows you to deliver one per turn. And I believe, and this will probably benefit Hambone, that means you don't actually have to deliver the cheap fighter to where it's going or to the country that bought it. So that opens up some good tactical considerations. You can just use it from the Canadian homeland. Anywho, on to the Colonial Troops expansion. Now this gives a lot of stuff to, well, not to everyone equally, but mostly to the Brits and the Italians. I think there's a couple things we should all agree on, though. One, there are some militia troops that I think we must assume can attack. For example, this Arab Legion has an attack of 2 and a move of 1, whereas this one has 0 attack and 0 move. So I think it's a fair assumption that these sort of militia units can move and attack outside their home country. There's also, if we go to the Italians, there's also these Libyan paratroopers. They come for $3, you get a paratrooper and an air transport. However, these are actually labeled as infantry, so another thing I think we have to agree on is that these infantry have a special role that they can participate in air assaults. And we might want to agree on whether they attack at 3 or 2 on the first round. And with that, I think we can get into our turn proper. Alright, so we have one tech roll. We're going to roll Improve Construction. I think for definitely nations like the USA and Japan, that is more important than wartime economy, and it doesn't matter because I roll a 1. Wonderful. Okay, so on to our buys. We're going to upgrade an infantry, or a militia to an infantry. We are going to upgrade a medium factory to a major, which should cost, if I can recall correctly. Where's the right one? Can be upgraded to a major for 6 IPP, so I will be doing that. So that brings me down to $10. We're going to build this fancy schmancy Gato Special Force. So basically he's somewhat of an elite mountain infantry. That's $3. And you know what? We'll just build we will build a Marine 4-4. And that will bring us down to 3. And I don't think we need to build another infantry right now, so we will just save. On to combats. We are doing no non-combats. Oh, sorry, no combat moves. Well, I guess I could border clash here. I've reached out and asked Board Gaming Bro if he wants to sign the non-aggression pact, and you know what? Let's border clash. I can take a militia, I think, if he kills my unit, and I can bring in 1, 2, 3, 4 units. So let's. I believe the militia can attack, and we can discuss that later if not. Because we're not actually moving outside my home country, but we will, I guess, roll and see what happens. Or do I? Oh, sorry, already declared. So let's just roll and, I don't know. I don't think we're doing much this early, so let's just have some fun shucking dice. That's a big miss all around. I have a feeling I'm going to regret this already. I do regret nothing. Alright, so that is that. And that's the extent of our combat moves. Okay. So let's jump into non-combats. We are going to empty our home islands. So this transport here will pick up 2 infantry and land them in Rihi. I have another transport somewhere. He's going to pick up that motorized and that infantry. And it will also land in, I think this might be locked. This will also land in Rihi. This infantry will move up to eastern Manchuria, along with this stack here. Sorry, those 2 infantry will move from Rihi to eastern Manchuria. This motorized will... Oh, why not? Let's bring him down. Down here as well. And what are we going to do with our fighters? You know what? Let's just do this. All my fighters are going to go on this 18th Task Force and fly to eastern Manchuria. So everything should be ranged. This should be 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So all fighters, so that's going to be, I believe, 3 tacticals and 4 fighters. Will fly to northern Manchuria. But let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But you know what? Let's... No, yes, we're going to keep with that. And they're just going to chill up there and defend against this blatant Russian aggression. But I'm good to be a peaceful guy, and diplomacy can prevail, and we can definitely sign a non-aggression pact. Alright, so what have we moved so far? We've just moved these 2 transports here. But let's maybe move them like that so we remember. Let's leave a heavy cruiser, a light cruiser, and a destroyer in the zone and the destroyer will move up from Sea Zone 89. This coastal submarine that was in 54 will stay in 54. This transport will move back to the home islands. So that would be Sea Zone 38. Let's see. This submarine, this torpedo boat destroyer, and this heavy cruiser will also move back to Sea Zone 38. I think that's all. Oh, I have some more boats here. This light cruiser and this submarine will move to Sea Zone 38 as well. And I believe that is all of my moves. Okay. Just want to double check that that's everything how we like it. It is, so let's go on to, I think, production. Anywho, so this major factory will be going down in Honshu? Kyushu? This special Gato landing force will go in Korea. This infantry will, one of these militias will be upgraded to an infantry. Let's say this one in Rihi. No, let's do the one in Northern Manchuria. And what else do we have? We have one Marine will go down in Kyushu. And with that, we are done. Anything else I want to play around with? No. We are done. So, let's go on to our collect income. So we saved 3, we get 16, and we get 3 from the US because they're being so nice and trading oil with them. So 16, 19, we're at 22 IPB. And with that, I'm going to pass you all off to Hambone HQ and his Commonwealth of France turn. Everyone, hope you have a great day. Bye.